Hi all, so I'm working on a longer collaboration video and I might do a live stream later today. If I do a live stream, let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see. Last time I did a bunch of BuzzFeed quizzes and that was a lot of fun. I think it went fairly well. Today I have a live stream I did recently with Paulogia and Johnny Drivebye, who is our gracious host. Johnny's computer crashed before the hangout could be completed, but I thought the discussion went fairly well up to that point, so I thought I'd post it here. I know Johnny's goal for the year is to reach 100 subscribers, and he's currently sitting at 63, so if you like what you hear here today, I hope you'll consider dropping by and checking out his channel. I'll link both Johnny's and Paulogia's channels in the description box. I personally enjoy Paul's content, and since he uses animations, he puts a lot of work into each video. Anyhow, with all that said, I bring you today's video.
Here we are, GC, Godless, Cranium, and Paulogia came here today. And, well, basically, I just wanted to have a chit-chat with you guys. So let me hear about you guys. Let's start with you, Godless.
What do you want to know?
What got you started in doing the YouTube thing?
I wrote a blog for a long time, and I wanted to reach a different audience. And on top of that, I get bored with things very quickly. So I knew nothing about making videos or editing or doing voice stuff, like, recording my voice and all that kind of stuff. So once I started learning, and it just really interested me, and I just really loved it. So, and I still love it. It's like continually learning how to do new things. Like I just got new editing software, and I'm learning that now. So I guess reaching a new audience, B, trying something different, and I've just had a great time. Like I never expected to reach, I think I'm at like 8,000 and something subscribers right now. Like I never even, when I first started, like if you look back to last year, my goal for the year was to reach 100 subscribers. So
I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Yeah, because I wanted to get a custom URL. So that was my goal. So it's been a great run. I've really enjoyed it.
The little perks of the little rings at the each level or whatever.
Yeah, I think the next one's at 10,000 or something. I think you get some extra privileges of some kind.
Well, I hope you get there soon.
I'm hoping to.
And what about you, Paul?
Well, specifically on the YouTube side of things, I've been doing video work as purely as a hobby, but for most of my life, I've been, but way back when I'm old enough to have been doing, editing on Avids with where it would actually be physically rewinding videotape. Not for very long, but I remember doing that. And then, but it hasn't been my main job. But obviously, I got into it a couple years ago with a friend of mine. We actually had a separate channel called Fractal that we do a lot of comic and movie related stuff. And I really was enjoying that. And just like GC, I was pouring my theological and science type stuff into a blog. And again, it was writing is one of my passions. And so, but again, it's a very tiny audience that a blog reaches. And I just kind of felt like there seemed to be a bit of a hole on the YouTube community. It felt like of people actually addressing young Earth creation claims.
Yeah.
And some of the bigger channels were moving on to a lot of other topics. But as a very recent young Earth creationist, I kind of felt like some of the stuff, there was new creationist material coming out, but it was going kind of unchallenged. At least in my perception, there was obviously GC and Professor Stick and a bunch of these new channels coming up. But I just thought, hey, let's I kind of want to get my voice in there, and it's been very fun. I've only been at it about 6 months now, but it's been great. And again, learning After Effects has also been fun. Nice distraction.
So what kind of feedback have you gotten from other atheists online then about what you've been doing?
Which one of us?
Whoever wants to take that one.
Go ahead, GC.
What kind of feedback have I gotten back from other atheists?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I've had some. I guess I've gotten some, mostly when I first began, that said that the topic was dead and I should stop talking about it, and that kind of thing. But I don't see it that way. I actually see, and this could just be my perception, I could be completely wrong, that there's actually a push of Christianity and Islam quite recently, and
I think so too.
I think it's coming about mostly because of Jordan Peterson pushing up, and a lot of people are kind of adopting his views and saying that, you know, even though they don't, and this goes for atheists as well. I've heard a lot of atheists say that, like Dave Cullen from Computing Forever, as well as a few others, that you know, even though they don't agree with Christianity or they think it's false and they don't believe in God, they think that we should be embracing the religion, which I completely disagree with, like on all levels.
Anything dogma, I'm out.
Yeah, so I think that has to be opposed, and I don't see. I know a lot of people call the, you know, like Armored Skeptic and that the old guard or whatever. I don't see many of them doing that. They're just kind of either going along with it or just not talking about it. So I think that it still needs to be opposed, and so that's what I'm trying to do with my channel.
Well, one of the reasons I have both of you guys on here is because you're both Canadians, and I've noticed, at least it seems to me that I've noticed a lot of Canadian YouTubers and that are atheists that are starting YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, or
I think we're disproportionately represented. Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
population based too.
Yeah.
But part of it, you know, in Canada, I've noticed a few things. I've had, you know, some jobs in the States, and they all, like in movie type stuff, and it's often a lot of Canadians. I think a lot of it is we have a lot less to do up here. So we have a lot more time on our hands to learn this stuff and to think about things and express ourselves.
Well, I'm from Minnesota, so I got the same problem. It's pretty white there a lot of times.
That's pretty Canadian.
It's cold. I haven't shared the accent except for the A.
In terms of your last question, though, I actually, when I started, I did not care one iota what the skeptic community was going to think of me. In my head, I hadn't planned that far ahead of what skeptics might think. I was more, my passion is really to make videos that that a theist might watch.
Yeah.
And so I actually hadn't put that into a game plan or whatever. But I've been very fortunate that a lot of people have reached out to me, and especially the Great Debate community with Steve McRae. I'm not sure if you're with that group, but they kind of adopted my channel early on and were championing it when I was back, you know, in the double digits of subscribers. And and Logic tweeted me out one time, which really helped. And
I remember seeing that.
And
cool.
You know, so I think I've been surprised how friendly the community has been. I have not sensed from anyone any kind of idea that let's compete with each other. I've had this tremendous sense of we're all in this together, and we all have common goals, even if we have different ways of doing it. And that's funny because as a former theist, it's you kind of the perception is so supposed to be the opposite, right? But I found it to be much more friendly than any endeavor I was pursuing on the theist side of things. So it's this weird irony of what you find.
Yeah. Just as an aside, I just watched Logic's new new video, and
with ISIS?
Yeah, with ISIS, and my avatar's in that video.
Cool.
Yeah. I got
You're
totally,
there, man. You're there.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. And actually, though, what Paul was saying there about how not seeing it as a competition, that just reminded me of when I first started, and Bionic Dance gave me a shout out. Somebody said in her comment section, "Are you sure you want to be doing that? Because, you know, he's your competition," kind of thing. And I remember her replying and saying, "I don't see it like that. It's not a competition. It's..."
Yeah, actually, that's kind of what I liked about you when I was watching, is that you're willing to. You did a lot of footwork too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did. I did a lot of collabs, which I'm not. Well, probably not a lot compared to some people, but I mean, for me, it seems like a lot because I kind of wanted to get my channel name out there, but at the same time, I'm not really a collaboration kind of person.
Somebody told me it's not who does the message, it's what the message is. We getting the message out there. That's kind of what I feel. So
yeah, and I just kept putting out, like I put out videos, like even now I put out videos almost every day. So
yeah, it's addicting.
well, it's not just that, but I also, like when I first started, I saw it as like each video is kind of a roadway into your channel, right? So
yeah,
each video you put out is another way that somebody can find your channel. So
yeah.
now, of course, somebody like Paulogia isn't going to be able to put out videos that quickly because I think he does the animation and everything.
Yeah, so mine are roughly an hour of effort for every minute on screen, which is
it's crazy the amount of effort you put in. Although your avatar, the one eye, because it sits at the top of your thing, it always the entire video when I'm watching one of your videos, I'm watching that eye like, oh my god.
That makes it.
But I actually really like having guests on now because it means I have to create new cartoons. Like I had PZ Myers on a few weeks back, and it's so much fun / pressure. So it's like, oh man, you have to draw this, quasi famous person and animate them in a way they like. So anyway, it keeps it fresh. I hadn't planned to do collabs either. It just kind of sometimes happens that way.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel like. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing collabs. It's just I'm usually very introverted and very like I always think like if somebody says something that I don't agree with in the video, then I'm kind of like saying that I agree with it because I'm in the video. I don't know if does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of times that isn't the case, right? But I'm not going to tell that person don't put that in the video, right? Because I don't agree with it. So
partially that's why whenever I have anyone on, I always say I might edit you. Like I have edited everyone, but I also try and keep my show to a certain length. Partially because it's so much animation effort, but yeah, that's exactly right. And so it's actually easier to appear in someone else's video than have them appear in yours. But I kind of feel like you brought it up. I feel like YouTube, kind of like blogging though, the way most of us do it is kind of an isolated thing, and everyone I've kind of met is, despite the fact that we put ourselves out on screen, we are kind of introverts. And if we were at a party, like I look at the VidCon footage and I'm like, that doesn't seem to actually represent what I think most YouTubers do. I think most of us are like quiet, without the camera on. To craft our message, we're not quite those extroverted people.
I'm alone in my thoughts a lot. I know that. But I do talk to people, but most of the time I'm alone.
Making videos is a solitary affair, right? Like there's nobody around me when I'm making videos. It's just me. So me writing my thoughts down, me recording, me editing, right?
Absolutely. And late at night and waiting for renders, and it's all this. Yeah. No, there's no glamour.
No, I know. And I have like you take far more time, but even me, like if a 10-minute video will take me 6-7 hours to make, right? So I'm sure with you it's much bigger because it's much longer because you have the whole animated thing going on. But
yeah, and that might have been a terrible choice.
Chaoism has the same problem because he makes those little stick men. I don't know if you saw the video.
Yep.
So he has the same problem, right? Where it's thing, but at the same time, it kind of sets your channel apart from other channels. So it's it's good and bad, right?
Yep. I may go Bible Reloaded someday. Screw it. I guess if you have 100,000 subscribers, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Then you're making a living at it, I think.
Right, exactly.
I just got a strange commenter on my channel the other day, but what's the weirdest one that you guys have gotten? You start with you, Paul.
Weirdest. Well, there are some. I don't really say anyone by name because but there's a few theists who have found my channel who are literally just copying and pasting the same comments over and over. Like they'll see that the topic of the video is X. It'll be if it'll be dinosaur soft tissue or something, and they've got diatribes that they're just copying and pasting in. But other than that, I don't. I really actually like the theist stuff, and I try to engage. I would love to do more street epistemology type stuff in my comments, and I try and steer people that way. But no, I can't say I've had any wacky comments. What about you, GC?
I get a lot of comments that are basically like, I'm gonna either burn in hell, or I got one I got one yesterday. I think it was pretty funny. It said something like that I have a sad life and that I shouldn't be talking about God. And stuff like that. I get those a lot. I've gotten the cut and paste people that just paste in the same comment over and over, and I've had some people do that. Like, they'll reply to every single comment in the video with that same cut. So in my spam folder will be like 70, 80 of the same comment in the same video, which I find really strange, especially since they're calling me, saying that I waste my time. That seems to me like a big waste of time. Yeah, but I actually really like the comments from. I get a lot of comments from Christians that are really nice too. That are they'll say like, I'm a Christian, but I really enjoy your videos and I find them funny, and they give me something to think about. So I actually those comments I value a lot. So I haven't gotten any of those from Muslims. I don't think. I think maybe one or two, but I get them quite often from Christians. So
I find that theists, and I know this from the other side of the fence, really respond to tone much more than the information.
Yeah.
And that when the tone is calm and civil, there's a chance they may listen. Versus, I've kind of worked with Godless Engineer a lot, and he has a very different tone. He's very condescending and insulting and deliberate.
It's strange you say that, because I think authoritarian would be what they respond to more or something, I
don't know what it is, but so I can totally imagine that you get the similar comments to me. Is that they just thank you for your tone? It's like, well, that's not really wasn't the point, but at least you're listening, I guess.
But we're all like that, right? I mean, if you have a point of view and then somebody just comes out and says, you're stupid and you're ignorant, you worship, whatever, the sky fairy or whatever, then you're less likely to listen to that person, right? You're just going to get offended and walls are going to go up. So, I am really sarcastic. I have a sarcastic sense of humor in general. So I know that that's going to turn some people off. But at the same time, I try to keep my videos kind of light and, fun for the most part. I do have some more serious videos, but
you do it with that Canadian charm that people let us get away with.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I think any foreigner to an American.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that, because when I cruised up to Canada one time, I really fell in love with the Lethbridge girls.
Wow, that is a sentence I've never heard before, and I live near there.
I was young.
No, which is actually one of the reasons I chose. So I don't curse on my channel. I will curse on other people's channels, whatever. But it's just one of those things that's almost an instant stop listening. That said, if I have guests on, they're allowed to. So I mix it up because I enjoy a good tearing down and stripping down as much as anyone.
Yeah. Who doesn't?